So, unlike the last three Overwatch pictures, this one I had the opposite problem. This is actually done the first, and like the first one I actually worked on, and it's the one I had the most amount of time. And in a way, this has a problem that's different in that sometimes if you spend too much time on something, you can get a little carried away. You end up looking at something for way longer than you should, and you start finding problems when there really isn't any. But then you try to fix the problem that you think is there, and you end up doing more damage than good. That's essentially the feeling I get when I made this particular image. I overall liked the original go at it, but because I felt like, well, I have time, I can, put a little more effort into this or into the hair. I ended up making it way too complex and way um, too detailed, and I didn't really need to. It could have done with a little less time. The other problem is the similar to the problem I have with Symmetra with references is that Blizzard, they were nice enough to release out all the character designs for all the different characters, and I'm listening with like color palettes and all that, and that's great. It's a great reference. However, the the character design is not the finished product. So when you actually play Overwatch, the outfit that Tracer wears is a little different. The little gauntlets that she has are of a different design. Hair is slightly longer and pointier. Guns are just at a different kind of angle. So I went through one original concept art, and then after that, after I noticed that certain things were different, I had to go back and change them again, and that took up a little bit more time. And then I really should have just been moving on to other projects, but I mean it is what it is, and I ended up spending a lot of excess time on this, and it was kind of unnecessary. It was pretty much good the first time around, but like I said, I had a little extra time, and or I actually had a lot more extra time because I started it first. It was something I probably I should have managed a little bit better. And yeah, so there's a lot of excess details from textures onto the actual pants, and I meant to put on the word tracer as it was in the character logo. I believe I didn't because that's when I noticed that it wasn't on the character. The word tracer is on a couple different outfits, but not everyone. So again, I was sort of confused. And that's the other problem when you're working with a franchise, or at least a video game that has multiple different skins for the same character. And yeah. Well, and also, like, Tracer's the main character, or not really main character, she's sort of the mascot for the game. On top of all that, there are other little details that get done because she's also, I believe, in Heroes of the Storm, their big MOBA free for all kind of a game. I do believe she looks a little different in that game as well, along with having multiple different skins in that game. So, I mean, there's a lot to these characters and a lot of different outfits that they tend to draw on. But, I mean, why not? If you can make skins, then that's the thing that the players are into. I think that there's nothing wrong with that. So that was the one. That's a couple of the things I had going against me. The other intensely frustrating thing about this game is, like I mentioned before, is that there's a lot over details in a lot of the characters. So one example being is that Tracer's guns. I cannot begin to tell you how much I hate those guns. They are hard to draw. They're very oddly placed. They got that strange curves here and there. So it was a lot of frustration on just the simple little thing. And it's not enough that she has one; she has two guns, and then she has her little time travel harness backpack. So I had to work that one in there, and a lot of excess equipment. I mean, if you've known anything about me, technology like cars and trucks are probably my greatest weakness. They're the things I probably have the least amount of confidence in, which should tell you that I need to be working on those a lot more. The thing is with Tracer or anything Overwatch, these are fantasy guns, so although they have similarities to real life guns, they are not they are not like in reality. They just don't really exist. So finding references for some of these things, it's really hard. And luckily, I mean, in the game, you have the option to see the guns along with checking out like the character designs. So that's also very helpful. So as much as I criticize, I know that Blizzard's doing everything they can to actually help you out, and so you're able to actually represent these things accurately. So there's some goods to go with the negatives. Well, that's all for. Thanks for watching. Bye.